There's a video on my channel titled The Axes of Self-Improvement, and I have a very funny story to tell you about that video, which will only take a minute, so stick around for that. And it was the morning of my biology exam, maybe like May 20th or whatever. I had uploaded this video, The Axes of Self-Improvement, the night before, and then I went to bed. I woke up, I decided to do this protocol where I wouldn't go on my phone whatsoever in the mornings before I had exams, just to save that little bit of brain power for this particular exam, and then I'd get back home and check my phone or whatever. And I did this for this particular exam. I got home after my biology exam, and I checked my phone, I checked the YouTube analytics for this video, and I was absolutely... It got like 400 views or something. This was only my 5th, 6th maybe video, and previously my last video got like 28 views, and this video had suddenly blown up and got like 400, and I was like, whoa. I was absolutely ecstatic. I thought that my life had changed forever. Unfortunately, it didn't. The videos after that didn't get as much traction as this one did, but it was an insane moment that I do look back on with a lot of pleasantness and a lot of nostalgia. In the video titled The Axes of Self-Improvement, I decided to sort of make a concept where from the ages of 0 to 12, a lot of the things that happen in your life aren't really in your control. A lot of the things are due to the decisions of your parents, due to being influenced by your teachers, your peers, your friends, and once you get to the age of 12, that's when I personally think the decisions start to either become good or bad, and they do start to become your fault. You start to choose to get into the drugs, you start to choose to scroll on social media, you start to choose to not exercise, you start to choose to not study in school, you start to choose to just like sleep, go to bed at 3 a.m. and wake up at 2 p.m. All of this stuff more becomes a choice rather than the kind of things that your parents sort of did to you between the ages of 0 to 12 years old. And while the decisions that you make may be influenced by the things that happened in the age bracket of 0 to 12, I feel like it still becomes more of a choice when you sort of get to that age of 12. It may be different for other people, but for me, it was the age of 12 where things started to feel like it was more in my control. And it is at the age of 12 when the majority of people's lives start to sort of fall. They start to get addicted to the things like porn. They start to get into the parties, the drugs, the vapes, the cigarettes, all that kind of stuff. And their life will fall down the sort of axes until it gets to bottomless pit. And then maybe they discover self-improvement. Maybe they don't like the way their life is going and they will decide to go up the axis of self-improvement. But for me, at the age of 12, I wasn't that bad. I didn't have many friends. I was a little bit lonely, which in a sense actually worked to my benefit because I wasn't externally influenced by too many people. I never had TikTok, never had a big social media addiction. I mean, Instagram did a few things to me that I wished it didn't, but I deleted that in the end, so that's alright. I never really was addicted to things like vapes or whatever. I was never really sort of into that sort of party lifestyle because I was quite an introvert, and things seemed to sort of work out for me, mostly because of the values that were probably put in me from the sort of age bracket of 0 to 12, which is kind of the part that's not really changeable in your life. But once you get to 12, that's when you start to probably make the worst decisions. You start to like either fall down or not fall down as much or go up. And I feel like I was on the trend of not falling down as much. I was still doing bad habits, things that I shouldn't have been doing. I was a bit of a video gamer. I did all the stuff that you probably shouldn't do. I didn't exercise as much as I probably should have. Yet, things weren't so bad. But I went through a very weird phase of my life where I actually wanted to sort of get into the sort of party lifestyle, degenerate lifestyle. I never really been interested in things like alcohol, vape, cigarettes before. I had like practically never done any of that kind of stuff. But I went through a weird phase around a year ago now where I was like, I want to sort of like go to parties, get into that lifestyle. And then I discovered generic self-improvement, and I was like, hang on, reflect and analyze. You've had alcohol like once where your parents gave it to you for a sip and you didn't even like the taste of it. Why do you want to do this to yourself? And you just ended up wanting to do it for social validation. Just start doing the things that you actually want to do, like working out, having a good diet, being healthy, doing good habits, and your life will be exponentially better than everyone else who decided to actually follow along that path of being a degenerate. And while that was my own choice, that was my own decision, I feel like the fact that I wasn't so far gone, even at that point, because of the values that I had instilled in me from the ages of 0 to 12 years old, meant that I didn't really want to sort of do this. I didn't really want to like go to parties. I didn't really want to sort of scroll on social media all day. I wanted to get good sleep because I knew how good it was for me. And it's weird. I felt like this was mostly due to the way I was raised. The way I was raised was I almost had the choice to do this sort of stuff. I was never told that you must not do this. You must not go to parties. I was never told that sort of you must not sort of things. I was given the choice, and I was like, in fact, I don't want that. I don't want to do this. And I've been given the choice, and therefore, sort of having the power to make a choice as such a young child seems to mean that you actually make the right decision in the end. I made the right decision. I didn't do that degen party lifestyle. I was like, I don't really want to sort of download TikTok or whatever. I don't really want to sort of scroll on social media all day. I don't really want to eat sugar. And because I was sort of given these choices as a young child, it seemed to benefit me in so many ways. I see a lot of like young kids who have really, really strict parents who end up doing every single bad habit under the sun. And I feel like it's because they weren't given a choice. I mean, I'm not a parenting expert. I don't like mean to sort of advise you on how to parent, but from my observations, it seems like just giving the kid a choice seems to work. Every single person that I know that has strict parents ends up sort of going behind their parents' back because teenagers, kids, are naturally rebellious, naturally adventurous, and when you sort of make things like doing bad habits, the drugs, the parties, and adventure, children are seemingly naturally going to want to do that, and maybe like making it out as if it's not an adventure and just giving them the choice, tell them that it's like, oh yeah, it's a normal thing. Maybe they're just not going to want to do it as much. It's such a very interesting psychological thing. I'm not at all experienced on parenting, and I don't really want to advise you on that at all. I'm not an expert at all, but from my own observation as a child and how I've been raised, it seems that giving the child a choice works, and it worked out for me. I feel very lucky because I was given a choice and I chose the right choice, and now I'm here at 16 doing very well in life, and I feel like self-improvement has worked for me invariably, and I cannot wait for the future. So yeah, I hope you can make the same decisions that I did, the same choices that I did, and be lucky in a way. So yeah, please also join the Science Self-Improvement Discord community, which is in the link in the description, and I also recommend subscribing because I love this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves so much more than they already have, and good luck.